I'm Nancy Showalter, and you're listening to Spirituality for the Politically Incorrect podcast. Welcome, all radical paradigm shifters and creative change makers. You who dare to create a better life and a better world. Tap into the power that resides within you and use that power for constructive change. Hello, and welcome back to Misconception 5 of the 10 misconceptions that limit you reaching your full potential. I hope you're enjoying this series and find benefit. Please leave your comments. I'd love to hear from you. So let's continue to explore misconceptions that may not be serving you well. Misconception number 5. Only those who know and accept Jesus can go to heaven. Jesus was a Jew. However, his mission and witness of his Father were for everyone, not just for those few people who knew him or for those of us who later learned of him. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." He did not say, "I, Jesus, am the way, the truth, and the life." But rather, he had full awareness of his oneness with the Father I am within. And he was telling us that the I am in each of us is the way. Remember the story of Moses and his interaction with God who spoke to him from the burning bush on Mount Horeb? God commanded Moses to return to Egypt, confront Pharaoh, and initiate the rescue of the enslaved Israelites. God told him to say that the God of your fathers has sent me to you. Then Moses said to God, "If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "I am that I am. Say this to the people of Israel, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Say this to the people of Israel, 'The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and thus I am to be remembered throughout all generations." That's Exodus 3. So Jesus, in his full understanding of who he was and his oneness with the I am, was saying, "I am is the open door. I am is the resurrection and the life." And we only get to the Father I am by way of the Christ, which is our true identity as sons and daughters of God. Now, if you've not heard last week's episode, I refer you to that for a much more in-depth explanation of this concept of the Christ. This awareness and understanding that the Christ that Jesus was, is, and taught about was not a separate religion from his Jewish tradition. He was a Jewish rabbi or teacher, an awakened Jewish rabbi. And the truth that he was bringing to his people was an illumined understanding of their concept of God that they held as separate from themselves. He was an incarnation of the Christ in its fullest potential, and he had the right to say that no man could get to the Father except through him. So he's not separate from us, and we're all offspring of God and meant to manifest that same Christ identity here on earth. The Jews in power rejected him, but not all Jews, of course. His disciples followed him, as did many others who then later became Christians. The Jewish religion carried on, and I contend that with this understanding of who Jesus was and is, Jews of today might also relate to Jesus as Christ when they understand that Christ is the true identity of all of us, not just Christians. And of course, over time, his followers, Christians, ultimately have turned him into the exclusive incarnation of God. Unfortunately, the various religions have separated themselves from this universal concept of the one God, one source, and have come to believe that no one else can ever be a Christ, a true son or daughter of God. But Jesus never said these things. He said to follow him, not as a puppy trails after his master, but by literally becoming what he was, becoming what he is, the living manifestation of Christ, to do greater things than he did. Many have gone to heaven prior to Jesus incarnating on the earth, and many have since. If we are the offspring of the one God, then we too need to awaken to our true identity as the son or daughter of God. Remember, you are divine, you were created for a purpose, and that purpose is unique. While here, you are meant to externalize and develop your unique divinity and then return back to God. Join me next week for the 6th misconception. Until then, keep an open mind, a generous heart, and a powerful spirit. I'm Nancy Showalter, and you've been listening to Spirituality for the Politically Incorrect. Thank you for being with me today, and if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. And to follow more of my work, visit me at nancyshowalter.com.